What's up, guys? So it's been a couple weeks since I've been with you. I've missed you. I'm sorry. I've been a little bit busy. But today we're coming back and we're gonna come back strong. So it's the weekend. This is the weekend. I say that it's Saturday. I kind of started on this last night, so I'm a little bit ahead of y'all. But let's just start from the top. So this is my trans, my W58. I don't know if you guys can see that. I don't know exactly what it came out of. I'll figure that out. I'll let you guys know. Had to swap the bell housing now because it wasn't a 2J. So this is a 2J bell housing. Over here, let's jump over here. Over here, keep in mind, guys, this is a budget build. So a lot of this stuff is kind of like factory parts mixed in with stuff that I needed. Clutch. This is from Drift Motion. This like extended clutch fork, throwout bearing, pilot bearing, all the bolts. I think that's I don't know what seal that is. That's a seal though. Clutch line. This is a factory like clutch, Jesus. This is a factory flywheel. So like I said, I'll leave parts in there. I got a pressure plate under there. Actually, here's a little thing. I had to change this clip to this style clip. If you guys can see it, different style. And I'll leave all the pieces and parts for you guys in the description below. Slave cylinder and the car, as you can see behind me, is not in my garage. So that's over at No Drift Shop because I started on this last night. We got the car racked and it's not gonna get done this weekend because I have to measure to get a drive shaft made. So it'll go in, but the car won't be mobile until the drive shaft comes in. Still have some variables to work out, like the trans mount. Bring you guys along for that, the wiring, and clean this thing up and the whole adventure. So let's just pop over to No Drift Shop because I think I heard Dom pull up, and we'll get to cracking because we got a lot of work to do. All right, so once again, I'm doing a terrible job and I'm getting ahead of myself. Car, No Drift Shop. Dom, working on the heater because it's freezing. It's like 40 something degrees or something crazy in Louisiana. So we're not used to that at all. We're like lizards. We need heat. But first step first is getting all this stuff out. It's probably hard to see in there. We have to clear out the automatic shifter and the center console so that as we start to put the trans in from underneath, we can get the shifter in. Once again, that's another variable because anybody that's might be watching this and is looking into it, there's like 3 different spacings that you can have for the shifter. So once again, I spent no money on that, $0. We're just gonna send it how it sits. I mean, if I have to cut some stuff, I have to cut some stuff. If we have to figure out some stuff with a trans mount, we got, I don't know what he wants to call himself. I was calling him Flywheel Fab. But we got Dom on site. He can do some welding for me if need be.
The most pro amateur welder ever.
The most pro amateur welder ever. I like that. So yeah, let's get to cracking and I don't know. We'll see how this comes out. Alright, so we're moving right along. It is out. Let's see here. So, this thing, you see, it's got 1 bolt there. And you don't have to take that bolt out. They have like 1 bolt on the side of it down low. You don't have to take that out. You can. I did. You didn't have to. And then, Then there's 4 bolts on the bottom. They're right there. 1, 2, 3, and then 4 over there. Yeah, so, and then that just comes up, you undo all your electrical connections, and you're left with said hole. So, and the console comes up with like 2 screws in the front, 2 on the side, 2 in the back. Everything else is just clips, even the e-brake boot, it all just kind of like clips and pops up. Easy peasy, no problems. So, get my light, that's what I'm forgetting. We'll go up and keep rocking and rolling. So yeah. now it's recording with sound.
Well,
So just to let you guys know where we're at is I messed up on taking out the O2 sensor. We're trying to work that out.
Family-friendly channel.
hey, language.
The boys are in the shop, like we said earlier this morning.
In the shop.
It's alright. We got Flywheel Fab patiently waiting to do some fab work.
Flywheel Fab.
Flab? Oh, Flab. Give us a half drop.
That's our motto. Barely getting by.
Just squeeze it. Your name
Oh,
Huh? Who needs a Milwaukee, dude? When you got Drew.
Probably bolted and over here.
Hey, let me know when that exhaust is. I was about to rip that shit off.
Tom's like, I'm feeling strong now. When Drew just ripped that exhaust out, I'm gonna rip it out too.
I got some new ones if needed.
I will.
Oh my god!
Yeah, look how pretty this stuff is.
Bro, look how pretty this guy is.
Yeah, look at that, huh? Whoa, relax.
I bet you we,
Juice fur.
Yeah, I know.
I can't stand it.
So it's out. It's out, stacked up next to the other one. We're kind of measuring it up. Let's go over this. So you have your dipstick tube up here, which is also bolted up on the block somewhere. That's going to be a 12 mil. What I would suggest if you guys are pulling your automatic transmission out is you see these bolts right here. You take those out, leave the converter on the trans. I've seen a couple guys that leave the converter in the car and pull the trans away from the converter, leaving these bolts in. Not a good idea. Just, you know, be a little more careful than we were. But other than that, you have your perimeter bolts here, which are just 17s. You have your two starter bolts there, which are just 14s. And your drive shaft, which mine's sitting over there. See it? Yeah, bing. And your electrical connectors. You got one there. There it is. One there. And your 4 trans bolts. So we're about to see, if you guys can see, kind of looks like it's going to match, huh? Dom and I are kind of having a good feeling about this.
let's get some measurements.
Dom's going to get some measurements. And we should be putting it back in. So we're going to go ahead on. I'm going to go ahead on. I got the clutch and stuff here. So what I need to do is to make sure that the pilot bushing fits. Where's the pilot bushing at? Must be in the other shop. Be right back. All right, so what I'm gonna do real quick, and this is what you always wanna do, you just wanna check all your parts. Oh God, I just said it over here. Clutch. That look good, Don? You're looking at it, huh? So, make sure all these things fit. This should fit on there nice and snug. Kind of does. I shouldn't have done that. There you go. You want to make sure your splines are right. This is not the way it goes. Oh, yeah, it is. Good. Boom. And make sure that slides on there nice and free. Okay. You also want to make sure, now keep in mind I've already checked all this, but you want to make sure that this pivot fits onto that ball, which mine does. You want to make sure that this hole, inner hole, down hole, fits over that and the input shaft. And you want to make sure all of that stuff is clean. Some sandpaper, some brake cleaner. I don't know where the brake cleaner went. Make sure it's all clean, smooth surfaces as best as possible. We will be applying a little bit of light grease onto the nose to help the pilot bearing go in, but you want to keep that off of that disc because, like Don was just saying, the stock disc might hold up if I break it in properly. If I don't, we'll probably be back here later this year, guys, doing this again and upgrading to some race car parts. But for now, how's that mount looking, Dom?
Well, the mount is virtually the same measurements, but the overall length of the transmission is different from the belt, the mount, the front part of the bell housing to the mount. Looks like you're about an inch longer or an inch shorter on the W58, right?
Yep.
Yep. W58. Yeah.
Now I'll give you $5 if you know what this one's name is.
Trash.
Yep. Yeah, it looks like I owe you $5 bucks. Because I don't know either. I don't know what that's called.
That's pretty accurate.
Yeah, trash. Exactly. Trash. Auto tragic. All right, so back to work. I don't know if you guys saw it on the time lapse or not, if it was clear. I just took a piece of wood and beat the pilot bushing in flat to the crank. You'd be able to feel that if you were here and see it. Then we just torqued these in a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 kind of pattern to 80 foot-pounds. I don't know if that's spec or not, but it should be close. This, or the pressure plate that we're about to put on, that we're gonna set you guys back down for in a second. That's gonna be, it's like the first step is like 20 pounds, the second step's like 50, and then the third step's like 70 something, whatever. We're gonna get it flat, line everything up, and then just tighten it really tight.
Word.
Let's
do that.
And then we're gonna slide her in, and then we'll be done. So set you guys back up, and we're gonna continue. Then we're gonna continue on and keep on going. So let's go. All right, guys, so we're in. We are in. So the wiring's not done. I will probably cover this in another video because I'm not 100% sure on that. I still have to do a little homework. I left my wiring diagrams at home. Trans mount. You can see it lines up here. Lines up with one bolt, doesn't line up with these back holes. We tried to flip this around and it's really close, but no cigar. Everything else bolts up pretty well. Can't see it there, I don't know where my light's at. Where's my light at? Where's my light? All right, light acquired. As you can see, the factory starter right there. That lines right up. Got the clutch in. I still have to bleed the clutch. All that lines up. This is for reverse signal, I believe. And in the kicker, you see where the shifter is? The shifter doesn't line up also. So, with all that being said, the few issues that I've had are A, the shifter doesn't line up like I thought it was. B, the trans mount doesn't line up with either the auto or, the 85 Supra. So the transmission's out of an 85 Supra. So that transmission mount doesn't work either. It's really close to working. I had to reuse the factory top 4 bell housing bolts. I had bought a bell housing bolt kit or set. Wasn't the right bolts for the top. So I had to reuse the factory auto ones. No problem, worked out great. And yeah, other than that, I think it went pretty smooth. So I have to take my measurement for my drive shaft. I have to bleed the clutch, all that stuff. Like I'm not necessarily worried about doing today. I'm kind of tired. I'm pretty done. Muscling those transmissions out without a transmission jack was tough in itself. I would suggest getting a transmission jack for a job like this just to make it easier on yourself. Other than that, I appreciate all my boys helping me, Mike, Dom, Debo, Connor, Brian, all of them helping me out. Everybody that was here today. And yeah, I think that's a wrap for today, guys. So we're going to continue this on. Like I said, I knew I wasn't going to get this done this weekend because I didn't have the parts. So if there's any questions you guys have, feel free to let me know. I'll gladly answer them. Still a few more tidbits, which we'll catch back up on that in the next video. So till then, guys, hit that subscribe button if this helped you out. Like button if it did. Like, not dislike. The like button if you liked it. And as always, see you next time. Peace.